Ladies and gentlemen, pain is the one teacher in life that no one invites, yet everyone meets, and when it arrives, it does not knock politely. It storms in, unannounced, turning your world upside down, making you question everything you thought you knew about yourself, about people, about life. And in those moments, you have two choices. You can either allow it to break you down until you are nothing but the fragments of who you used to be, or you can allow it to break you open so that you can rebuild yourself stronger, wiser, and more unshakable than you ever imagined. Because pain is not just an obstacle, it is raw energy, and energy can be transformed, shaped, and channeled into something far greater than the suffering you feel in the moment. But that transformation is not automatic. It demands awareness, discipline, and the courage to face what hurts instead of running away from it. Because when you run from pain, it chases you, but when you turn to face it, you strip it of its power to control you. You begin to see that pain is a mirror reflecting the parts of you that need to grow, the habits that need to change, the beliefs that need to be challenged. And when you embrace that mirror instead of smashing it, you start to see not only your wounds, but also your strength, your resilience, your capacity to endure, and the hidden potential that has been dormant inside, waiting for a reason to awaken. And pain becomes that reason, that fire, that catalyst, because strength is never built in comfort. It is forged in the furnace of difficulty. Just like steel is not hardened in lukewarm water, but in fire, pressure, and relentless pounding, so too your character. Your mindset, your spirit are strengthened through the moments that test you the most. And when you understand this, you stop seeing struggles as curses and start seeing them as training grounds. Every setback becomes a lesson, every betrayal becomes clarity, every failure becomes a stepping stone, and every loss becomes an opening for something new. But to transform pain into power, you must first stop resisting it. You must allow yourself to feel it fully, without judgment, without self-pity, without trying to numb it away, because pain that is avoided will return in greater force. But pain that is faced will dissolve into wisdom. And wisdom is the ultimate form of power. It is the kind of power that cannot be taken away from you because it is etched into your soul through experience. It becomes a part of you, shaping the way you see the world, the way you live. And once you learn to carry pain like a warrior carries his sword not as a burden, but as a tool, you realize that nothing can truly defeat you. Because the worst has already shaped you, the storms you feared have already raged, and you are still here standing, moving forward. And now you are not the same person who once feared the rain. You are the one who has learned to dance in it, to draw strength from it, to grow through it, because transformation is not about avoiding difficulty, but about mastering the art of using it, then redirecting it toward your goals. And if you want to rise, you must stop asking for an easier life and start building yourself to handle a harder one. Because life will not always give you what you want, but it will always give you what you need to become who you are meant to be. And sometimes what you need will come wrapped in pain, but when you unwrap it, you find growth, you find resilience, you find the next version of yourself, and you realize that your struggles were never meant to destroy. They were meant to strip away the weaker parts of you so that the strongest version could emerge. And once you have tasted the strength that comes from surviving what once threatened to break you, you will never fear challenges the same way again. Because you will know in your heart that no matter what comes, you have the capacity to turn it something that works for you, not against you. You will know that you have the ability to turn pain into power, and that is the most liberating realization you can ever have. For in that moment, you stop living as a victim of circumstance and start living as the author of your own story. The story not defined by the wounds you have suffered, but by the strength you have built. And when others see you, they will see someone unshaken, someone who has walked through fire without burning, someone who has turned scars into armor, someone who radiates the quiet confidence of a person who has been tested and has emerged victorious. And you will inspire them not because you were untouched by pain, but because you were transformed by it, because you chose not to let it close your heart, but to let it open your eyes. Not to let it harden your soul, but to let it sharpen your mind. And the truth is, the most powerful people you will ever meet are not those who have never suffered. They are the ones who have suffered greatly and have used that suffering as a stepping stone to greatness. They are the living proof that pain, when faced with courage, can become the greatest source of energy, creativity, and clarity you will ever know. And if you are in pain now, if you are in the middle of your storm, do not think this is the end. It is the fall. It is the place where your old self is being melted down so the new self can be created, and that new self will be stronger, wiser, and more capable than you can imagine. But you have to trust the process. You have to walk through the fire without turning. And you have to keep reminding yourself that one day you will look back and realize that the pain you are feeling today was the reason for the strength you will have tomorrow. So take that first step. Stand tall in the face of what hurts. Breathe deeply and know that with every breath, you are already turning pain into power.